Hey everybody, Damien here, TLH YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. God, I love having banner back and forth. Anybody who watches one of my videos. It's been a little while. I'm back. I'm at it. Let's go. Okay, what I'm going to talk about today is something that everybody's going to be looking into or has been looking into for the past probably few weeks with deer season and coming upon us, and elk season, antelope season's right on us now. Bullets, hunting bullets. And something I've talked about before, like I had a video about the best bullets for an AR-15 or 223 because that's real popular around the country. My daughter will be hunting with an AR-15 this year for the first time. She's going to doe hunt this weekend with one. It's her first deer hunt, and she'll be successful. I have all the faith in the world in that cartridge with the right bullet. But one thing I am going to talk about right now is not so much the AR or the 223 as I'm going to talk about more traditional calibers, or more you would more think about as medium to big game killers. So bullets. You're going to see a lot of advertisements about bullets. You hear a lot of people talk about bullets. If you listen to a lot of the popular podcasts, they talk about all kinds of bullets. They're going to talk about Barnes, and they're going to talk about Hornady ELDXs, and they're going to talk about Nosler Accubons. They're going to talk about all these bullets, right? Premium bullets. Are they necessary? In the short answer, if you're a deer hunter and you're most anywhere in the country shooting a mule deer, shooting a whitetail, they are not necessary. They just aren't. All right. So one thing I want to talk about is some of the most popular bullets that we've had throughout the years in this country have been bullets that have been, brought about within the last 60, 70 years. They've been around for a long time. Bullets like the Winchester Super X, the Remington Core Locked, which I have in my hand right here. That's a Remington Core Locked, cup and core, copper jacket, lead core bullet. Deadliest mushroom in the woods, they call it. This is the 257 Roberts 117 grain round nose loading. Pretty anemic little guy, but I've killed deer with it. I've killed a ton of deer with it and pigs with it. Now I have a 257 Roberts and a 257 Ackley improved, and I use this to get my brass when I fire for them. But these little guys turn along at 2,700 feet a second, do the job every time. If you make a decent shot on a deer, you're going to kill it with this. And I don't care whether you have this in a 257 or a 243 or a 6.5 Creedmoor or a 270 or a 30-06 or a 300 Win Mag, whatever it is. Your core locks, your 100 grain 243s, your 115 grain 25-06s, your 150, 165, 180, 30-06 is your 130 and the 270 or 150. You're going to kill your deer every time. It's going to work. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. And there's been a lot of elk killed with a core locked if they were hit right. There's been a lot of mule deer and a lot of antelope killed with a core locked as well. So don't let somebody beat you up over bullets. If this is what shoots good out of your gun, do it. The core locked and the Super X Winchester PowerPoint. Next up, a bullet that I love, absolutely love, and I'll show you this in the venerable, hated, and loved 6.5 Creedmoor, is the Hornady American Whitetail. All right, now this is a loading, not so much a bullet, but what you got here is the 139 grain Hornady Interlock. Now the Interlock is not a lot different than the Core Lock or the Super X PowerPoint. It's a standard cup and core, copper jacket, lead core bullet, but they perform well and they shoot way out of their price range. These shoot in every gun I own. I shoot these in 150 grain 308, 150 grain 30-06. This 139, 129 6.5 Creedmoor. I shoot them in 100 grain 243. They all shoot great, and this is bargain bin ammunition. Hornady American Whitetail. I will grab a box to show you. I like it so much that I'm looking up here right now. Here's my Hornady American Whitetail right there. Hornady American Whitetail. You can't miss that box, right? This is 350 Legend to shoot out of my 350 Legend handgun. This stuff's great, okay? It's a good bullet. That Interlock's an awesome bullet. It works great every single time. It works good. It's very dependable. Next up, I'm going to go through a premium bullet lineup here. I have two of these. This is the Hornady SST, all right? Now, the SST Super Shock Tip, you'll see right there. I have these in a 6.5 Grendel for an AR, and this is in the 257 Roberts, again, my most favorite deer cartridge. So this is a 117 grain light magnum loading, they call it, and it's the SST bullet. It's a great polymer tipped copper jacket lead core bullet. These expand great. They expand violently. They're a little tougher than the ballistic tips that you're used to by Nosler. It's a great bullet, and sort of your mid-range will work. Shot elk with these, mule deer, antelope, they're all good. Whitetail. The SST is a good bullet as long as you caliber up for the animal. I would take this after mule deer, no problem, in my little 117 grain 257. I know people have shot elk with these. I wouldn't. You know, I want to move up a little bit in bullet weight, but the SST is a super capable bullet that, when put in the right place, will always work all the time. A little tougher, a little more aerodynamic, a little flatter shooting than your standard exposed lead tip cup and cores. That's the SST. Here's one that we've seen a lot of in the past few years due to popularity of different hunting shows and whatnot. Federal Trophy Copper. All right. Now that's in a 6.5 Creedmoor. That's a 140 grain Trophy Copper. It's a great loading, but I'm going to tell you something, a little secret about this Trophy Copper. I'm not a fan of these bullets. I've seen them not perform on whitetails more than once. I don't know why that happened, but this is at ranges between 100 and 250 yards with this 6.5 Creedmoor. I am not impressed. I am not impressed with the expansion. I'm not impressed with the wound channel, and that's just me. All right. So we've shot 4 deer with these, and I've never liked any of them. I keep them around because they're spares. They shoot well. If I need ammo for some reason, I can grab it. I know it'll work. Now, if I was going after elk, this all copper bullet would be fine. It's akin to a Barnes TSX or something, or TTSX, or an LRX. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of this one. I'm a fan of the Barnes, but I'm not a fan of this Federal load and this Federal bullet, this Trophy Copper. A lot of people like them. I just don't. I don't feel like I get the expansion that I want out of them, no matter where I hit the animal. Okay, we've had shoulders, ribs, necks, clean pass-throughs every time. It's just not the devastation and wound channel I'm looking for. They work. They just don't work in what I like. And I think moving up to an animal like an elk or a moose or something like that, great bullets. But to me, in deer, I want a little more expansion and violent, a little more violence on that when that bullet goes through that deer's body. So that brings me to another favorite deer bullet, the Nosler ballistic tip. That's a 150 grain 308 factory load from Nosler. Ballistic tips are great. I've shot deer with 25-06, 243, 30-06, 270, and 308 with the ballistic tips. Everything from 90 grain all the way up to 180s. The ballistic tip is awesome. You don't want to move past deer-sized game with ballistic tips. I'm not going to take a ballistic tip and go after an elk. They just aren't. The construction of the bullet's just not heavy enough to really go after an elk. And when I go after something big like that, I want to be able to anchor them, so to speak, where they stand. And especially if you got one that's wounded or you made a bad first shot, if you get a second opportunity, you want that thing dead right now or down right now. And if the only opportunity you get's a raking away shot, I want something that's going to go from ass to tea kettle, from hip to chest, straight through them. Ballistic tip's not going to do it. The SST is not going to do it. Fortunately, the Trophy Copper might be a bullet that you'd pick to do it. The Barnes might be one you'd pick. The Nosler Partition might be a one you'd pick. And then this is another one that a lot of people are picking these days, and this is in a 325 short Magnum. This is a Accubon. This is Nosler's Accubon. This is a 200 grain Accubon. They're not black anymore. That's an old Combined Technologies Accubon that's coated. But the Nosler Accubon is a really great bullet and kind of took the world by storm. I know a lot of people that use those exclusively for everything. Doesn't matter what it is. They have a great 270 grain Accubon loading in 375 that out of an Ultra Mag. 375 rum is amazing. I would take this Accubon bullet after pretty much anything, short of dangerous game. But if I was going after any bears, elk, any hoof species, Accubon will do it. That being said, back to the original land this plane, circle everything back on the video. Do you need a 200 grain Accubon to kill a whitetail anywhere in the United States? The answer is no. Can you do it with that Hornady interlock out of that 6.5 Creedmoor? The answer is yes. Could you put an interlock into a 325 short mag and do the same thing? Absolutely. Premium bullets and deer don't always mix. Most hunters don't need them. And contrary to popular belief, you don't need premium bullets loaded in factory ammunition for your gun to shoot good. I have 3 6.5 Creedmoors that all shoot. This American Gunner, which used to be around 20 bucks a box, under a ½ inch, every single one of them. A Tikka, a Ruger American, and a CVA. They all shoot great. They all shoot great. Okay. Don't let the marketing fool you. You don't need to have that stuff. And I'm going to make a couple more videos circling back on that and have a discussion on a podcast at the end of the month about marketing to hunters and the state of hunting and the state of the business of hunting and the marketing that goes into it. Because I'll tell you what, I drove through Bozeman, Montana this year to go fish with some good friends that live up in western Montana, southwestern Montana, and driving through Bozeman is basically a big advertisement to hunters. It is a big marketing campaign for all your high-end brands, Sitka, KUIU, First Light, Montana Knife Company, all these really super high-end brands. And I got an article, an ad from KUIU yesterday talking about the ultimate whitetail system. It was $1,000 for a coat and bibs. Do you need that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just like premium ammo. Do you have to have it? Absolutely not. Not to be successful. So like, comment, subscribe, give me a shout. Let me know what you think. Tell me what your favorite ammunition is to shoot out of your rifle and what shoots best. Thanks.